up, what up, what up? This is Scary Thoughts with Scary Jerry. I'm your host, Scary, here with our co-host,
Tom, a.k.a. Tamnivuk.
How you doing today, dude?
Honestly, today's a good day. It's beautiful. It's sunny out. It's been a nice, warm 20 degrees.
Balmy
I can't complain.
20.
Yeah, and I can't complain. I've been doing some things behind the scenes, getting some things ready to rock and roll, and I think it's safe to say it's about that time.
It's about that time.
It's about that time.
What do you got going on?
I think it's about time I spill the beans on the surprise that I mentioned on my Instagram story.
Yeah, what's that surprise?
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has arrived. Relapse, my debut single, is coming out February 16th at midnight, streaming to all platforms. Fuck yes.
Oh shit, February 16th. Your first song's dropping on all platforms.
Hell yes.
I'm excited to announce that we're actually going to be playing a preview of the song at the end of the podcast.
No way.
So y'all will be the first ones to hear Thomas' first fucking single drop at the end of the show. I'm super excited because I did some engineering work on it, and I'm pretty proud of myself, if I do say so.
Hell yeah.
And I'm excited for everyone to hear. I'm excited especially for everyone to hear you.
Words can't describe how I feel right now. It's a little bit of a mixture of very excited, but there's also a little bit of nervousness in there. But
Yeah, that's understandable. It's understandable. I know it's going to be good. I know that you have a lot of other songs that you're working on that are going to actually like blow people out of the water. I know you've got ideas about features that you want to do, which I think is super exciting. All in all, I'm super excited for you, and I think this is going to be really, really great.
2025 is going to be a great year.
I really do think it's going to be good. Despite everything going on in the world and in life in general, I think it'll be a good year. Good year.
I agree.
I mean, I'm still brain tumor free, so fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. It's always a good day.
Yeah, always a good day. Well, yeah, there's been a lot going on in the world.
Dude, what is going on with these planes nowadays? Like, we can't go a fucking week without another one falling out of the sky. Like,
Hold on, I can do my due diligence. I have a article that I can pull up from the Anchorage Daily News.
Awesome. Shout out ADN.
This is no internet. I probably should have connected to the internet before I started this. So this is something really, really tragic that's happened here in Alaska. I'm sure a lot of our listeners are Alaskan and are probably aware of this. But for those of you who aren't, we had our own tragedy happen. It was a Bering Air flight on its way to Nome. But basically 10 people who were making a trip to Nome. And this is a flight pattern that, has been flown many, many times. But they still don't quite know what happened. But there were no survivors. I know that Ivory and Oak on Instagram, he makes really, really amazing bone jewelry. One of his family members was on that plane. And so I just want to take the time to say my condolences and our condolences to all of the people who lost family members and loved ones.
Yes, our prayers and condolences to all of you.
It's really that's one of my biggest fears is not only dying in a plane crash, but losing family in a plane crash. So it's really rough. It's really fucking rough.
I don't know what's going on in the environment that's causing planes as of recently to be falling out of the sky. I don't know what it is because it was during their initial flight and takeoff, they were tracked. And then I want to say 10 to 20 miles before they reach the airport, they just go completely off of the radar. They're they're untrackable.
Are you talking about this flight?
Yeah, this flight. I watched the flight log as it left the airport. It's going over the cove or whatever. I know there's a little space of water in between Nome and where they were taking off, and they were flying over that little bit of water, and right off of the coast is where they just lost it.
It was stored 34 miles southeast of Nome.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. really, really sad. I know that the weather wasn't exactly the best. I mean, there's so many, these are such small planes, and accidents like these tend to happen a little bit more on these smaller planes, especially because we have such intense weather in Alaska.
And it flips on a dime. It's like one day it's crystal clear, no wind, to completely fucking cloudy and blowing 50 plus mile an hour
and
winds.
There can be mechanical failures that happen during these. Like, I don't know what happened, but you know, that's usually what happens on these smaller planes in like Alaska. Is usually some sort of extreme weather and coupled with maintenance failure or like mechanical failure of some sort.
Yeah.
Which it's just horrible that, you know, 10 whole, like, no survivors that's pretty rough.
That is rough.
And it's just like, and it's happening, like, all of these aviation disasters have been happening all over and so often. It's definitely making me a little bit more scared of air travel, but I'm hoping that, you know, with all of this, we start to do better and take care of our planes better and put proper money into the maintenance of them and the care of them. And, you know, because like we're transporting people and like lives on these things. Like, we shouldn't be cutting corners. Fucking doors shouldn't be flying off of fucking planes. Like, this shit should not be happening. So I hope that aviation gets safer after this and that shit like this stops happening. So like I feel like it's one of those things where like it's happening so much right now that like it's hard to not pay attention to it. It's hard to not be like, why is this happening? And like getting down to the root causes, which I'm pretty sure most of the root causes for a lot of these bigger flights having issues has got to be maintenance issues, mechanical issues, cutting corners in manufacturing and shit like that.
Well, I do know that Boeing, well, any aircraft as of recently, I know that they can fly with like X amount of errors or malfunctions or faults in their systems, and they're still like able to fly. I don't understand why you wouldn't try and resolve all issues before, you know, sending a plane full of people on a flight.
Because there's money involved.
Well, I understand that, but if instead of, you know, spending millions of dollars to try and, you know, assist a family for losing a loved one, and losing more money in that sense than, you know, putting the money into fixing and properly maintaining the aircraft so it doesn't do that, I feel like it would be more cost efficient to just take care of the damn aircraft.
In the long run, yes. But when you're trying to turn a profit, sometimes those things get put on the back burner.
And that's very shitty.
Yeah.
Very, very shitty. You shouldn't be playing around with people's lives like that.
Well, I'm hoping that I'm hoping that this will like kind of be the catalyst for making air travel safer. But yeah, and then I recently was scrolling on Threads and I saw that this person posted, and I'll just read it. It's from feral.in.alaska. And they said, local public radio in Juneau, Alaska just said that tribal citizens are being encouraged to carry their ID in the event that ICE questions them. So I don't know how many of you know this, but ICE is in Alaska. There's actually been multiple articles on both Alaska News Source and I believe Anchorage Daily News about how the Anchorage FBI is currently working with Homeland Security on, quote, immigration enforcement actions, unquote. But they had even posted some pictures of them, like, hauling people away into vehicles and shit. But there was another account, which is hilariously titled Peltola _accountability, which I'm pretty sure is someone who is involved with the PSL here in Anchorage.
That sounds like a government official.
Peltola was our last governor, I believe.
I
believe. Was he governor? I think so.
Mayor, governor. Someone who was running Alaska. Anchorage.
Yes. Anyways, they posted, about it. And they were telling people, protect your immigrant and undocumented friends, protect your indigenous friends, protect your friends of color. And I agree. I mean, my mom's an immigrant, and even though she did come here legally, I feel like there are humane ways to deal with the immigrant situation, especially since another thing that I read on the Anchorage Daily News is that people were actually calling the Anchorage School District and asking if it was safe for them to bring their kids to school in the event that ICE comes to school to take away their children. So that was a thing. And, the school district doesn't discriminate. They don't ask if you're an immigrant or like for any of that shit when you enroll. It's never been a thing. And they're like, well, we'll do whatever we can within our power to protect your kids. But like, there's only so much that the school district can do if the government comes busting in. But I just thought that was really, really like heartbreaking that so many people, like there was like an uptick in calls of people calling like, hey, is it safe to bring my kids to school? Like that's really, really.
That's really disheartening.
Yeah, it's hard.
Fucking school's a place for kids to go and learn and not have to worry about shit like this. And the fact that we have parents calling and asking if it's safe for me to take my kid to school.
And kids don't understand the politics of all this. They don't understand, like, they live here, their families here, they work, like, their families work here. They don't understand all this shit. Imagine, like, being a brown kid and you're sitting in class and then all of a sudden you're like some fucking
SWAT
adult
team member wearing a bulletproof vest or whatever.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, we gotta take you. And they're like, I would just be so confused. I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, that's not something that you want a kid to have to fucking deal with. And then like just the disheartening shit that a fucking parent has to go through and feel, like not knowing whether or not they can take their kid to school to get an education, or if they have to worry about never seeing their fucking kid again, or like being deported, and just all that fucking crazy dumb shit. And it's just the reason why it angers me so much is that immigrants make up such a large like amount of workers in our economy, and everyone's all like, oh, well, they're taking our jobs. But like anytime I see an immigrant working, they're always doing the shit that none of us want to do anyways. Like being landscapers and all this kind of shit. Like, I don't know. I think it's dumb. Like, they're not taking our jobs. They're doing all the jobs that we don't want to fucking do. And they're getting paid less to do it. It's like, it's not like they're getting some sort of upper deal or upper hand in any of this. But I just thought this was a good time, as you are a Christian. I am not a Christian anymore, but I still have quite a love for certain like things in the Bible and Christ himself. But this is from the Old Testament, but it's Leviticus 19:33 through 34. And it says, when an alien lives with you in your land, do not mistreat him. The alien living with you must be treated as one of your native born. Love him as yourself, for you were all aliens in Egypt. And like, that's another crazy thing that I've like, there are so many Bible verses about how to treat immigrants, which is actually really, really funny. Like, there's so many of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in the Bible that it tells you how to treat other people, treat non-believers, treat immigrants, treat anybody.
Yeah, but the sheer amount of Bible verses that are specifically on how you treat immigrants, like there's quite a few of them, and I feel like a lot of people have kind of lost the plot, like especially people who claim to be Christians but they're very anti-immigrant, and I'm like, you can't really be a Christian and be anti-immigrant. Like, it goes against a lot of the shit that you're supposed to believe.
Mm-hmm.
But I just thought this would be a good moment for me to remind y'all that if you're going to be Bible thumping, know what's in your Bible. Friendly reminder from a deconstructed Christian. Or I should say deconstructed ex-Christian. But yeah, so, protect your fucking friends, protect your family, your loved ones, your neighbors. I don't give a fuck if any of my neighbors are here illegally. They're my neighbors. We're all in this together. We're all fucking in this together.
All I can say is there's a right way to do things and there's a wrong way to do things. If you do everything legally, if you're a good contributor to society, you got a job, you pay your bills, you pay your taxes, you're not hurting anybody. Who needs to bat an eye on that?
Yeah, and like for me, it's like even if you didn't come here legally, like what you said, if you're contributing and you're not causing any fucking mayhem,
you're not hurting anybody or bringing anything bad into the country.
Yeah, they're just trying to. Most of these people they're already here, like bringing their kids to school. They have jobs. They're working. They're not fucking causing problems.
And I know some of the immigrants coming from Mexico and Latin America. I know a lot of them are seeking refuge in America to get away from the cartels.
Like, there's so many different reasons. And, you know, we've always kind of been, like, we are a melting pot of all of the world. Like, you can find people from all over the whole world in multiple parts of the United States. Like, even here in Alaska, we've got, like, a large population of all different kinds of people. And the most diverse high school in all of the United States was actually here in Alaska. Talk like that kind of diversity.
Oh, I love it.
Just here in Alaska alone. Like, that's crazy. And that should be a unifying thing. Like, we should be unified by that rather than being like, oh no, like, I don't know. I guess it's just because there's a lot of fucking Nazis still around.
All I can say is at the end of the day, if you and I both bleed the same color, what difference does it make on what's the outside?
Honestly. Exactly.
We all bleed red, so what's the fucking point?
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, I've always been very, like, heavily into protecting people's rights. Like, I'm a fucking full-blown anarchist. I don't even believe in borders. So I've always been a little bit more radical in that kind of way because I just see people as people and I don't really fucking give a fuck. Like, I don't, like, my mother is an immigrant. And yeah, she came here legally, but like, would I think that my mother is any less if she came here illegally? No. She still fucking built an entire life for herself and contributes not only to us, but also to her family back home in the Philippines. And I think that's a beautiful fucking thing. Whether she came here legally or not, I think it's beautiful that she's doing that. Another thing that's been happening lately that's been kind of bugging the shit out of me is what I've been hearing about the trans community and like having issues getting their fucking passports or getting their gender markers on their passports. There was a ABC News article. Title of the article was "Passport Applications Got More Complicated for Transgender Americans Under New Trump Policy." And the article goes into about, you know, all these different people who are like, they want to get their passports because they're afraid that if this country becomes unsafe for them, like, you know, that's your only way out of the country, really.
Yeah,
is
you
your
need a passport.
And this person, because they're trans, they had their passport put on hold, and now they don't know if they're even ever going to get their birth certificate and all the other documents that they submitted back. And that's scary because if you're not sure if you're safe somewhere and you want to have the option to be able to go live somewhere else, you will not have that option if they don't give you your motherfucking passport. So yeah, there's an ABC News article about it. I will try to link all of these articles in the show notes when I post it so that if any of the listeners at home want to do their own research or read these articles, it'll be there. But I mean, when Trump was elected, the first thing I fucking did was I texted my trans neighbor and asked her if she was okay, if she needed anything, and she was like, I'm good. And I'm like, okay, I just want you to know if you need fucking anything, I got you. She's one of my good neighbors that I trust, and things are getting harder for trans people everywhere.
Hell yeah, shout out neighbor.
Yeah, shout out fucking Casey, I love you.
Shout out Casey. I agree, though. A passport is something that you need, especially, like you said, if you want to get out of here, and especially if they don't feel safe in this country anymore, they need to be able to leave.
I don't understand what the big issue is with, like, having a gender marker on your passport. Like, I don't know why that's something that he's targeting. A lot of people are just saying that it's just to cause fear, because fear causes chaos, and chaos destables things, and when things are destabilized, I mean, when things are destabilized, it makes it easier to, like, invoke fear and control over people, Which that, for me, makes sense because governments be doing that all the goddamn fucking time. But, like, for me as a regular person, I'm just like, what the fuck does it matter what it says on their goddamn passport? Like, who even cares? Like, they care. They care because it's their fucking life, their body. But, like, what the fuck do I care as a random stranger what they have on their goddamn passport? I don't give a fuck. Governments shouldn't give a fuck. It doesn't fucking matter. Why does being trans bar you from being able to travel? That's the dumbest fucking shit ever. Pisses me off. Pisses me fucking off, dude. But that's just some like local news and world news that I wanted to cover on the podcast, because I did say that I wanted this to be a more serious podcast where we could talk about more serious shit.
Yeah.
And, you know, lend our voices and whatever we can do, whatever we can say. You know, I love being able to just bullshit around and talk with you about all kinds of shit. And we're going to have so many guests on the podcast and so many different things to talk about. But this is definitely, I definitely want to talk about local news here in Alaska because, you know, this is our community.
We fucking live here.
Yeah, and it's important that we stay up to date and talk about all the shit that goes on in Alaska. And I've always been kind of a self-isolating kind of a person, and I want to spend more time engaging in my community and being a voice in my community.
There you go.
And this podcast is such a great way to do that.
Yeah. It's nice being able to voice your opinions and
have other people
listen and
state their opinions too, because I like being able to listen to other people's opinions.
I like hearing it from both sides. I mean, I honestly, as weird as it sounds, I also honestly kind of like being on the fence and just hearing from both parties.
Me too. I mean, I'm usually on one side or the other, but I do think it's important to, because when you really listen to the other side, that's when you can be like, okay, and then you can think about it and you can bring up more points. Rather than just like talking over each other, you can be like, okay, well, you said this, and this is how I feel about that, and here's why. And then you can kind of like get to, because like a lot of the times when I'm, for example, we can bring up the whole COVID thing with the vaccines. What was your take on the vaccines? Did you get vaccinated?
I did not.
You did not. And why did you not get vaccinated?
I felt like it was rushed. The vaccine was too rushed and put into market too fast.
And there's a lot of people who think that. And I don't think that that is a bad take to have. I know there's a lot of people that would shut those people down immediately and be like, oh, you just don't believe in science and da-da-da. I'm like,
no.
Sure. Like, but I can also understand, because it was rushed, because it was an emergency.
Yeah.
It was an emergency because of how fast it was fucking spreading. And it was a rushed vaccine. They did rush to fucking make it. So like when people were saying that, like that struck me as valid. I'm like, oh, you don't, because of how rushed it is, you don't quite trust it. And of course you don't want to fucking put something in your body that you don't trust.
Exactly. And to those that were vaccinated or anything like that, good for you.
I was vaccinated.
I don't hold anything or look at anybody any differently for anything. Me neither. Like that.
And I don't see unvaccinated people. Like a lot of people will be like, oh, unvaccinated people are dumb and they don't believe in science. And I'm like, it's a little bit more nuanced than that. Because like I did get vaccinated. I got because they split it into two different shots.
They had like 2 different boosters, right?
Well, there was 2 different shots that were the original vaccine. You had to get it in 2 stages. And then there was the booster. So I got the original 2 shots, which was counted as a full vaccine. I got those. I did Moderna. I didn't do Pfizer. My booster was Pfizer, but my original 2 shots were Moderna. And then I had to get boosted to go back home to the Philippines because they wouldn't let you into the Philippines without having your booster shot. So then I had to get my booster, and my booster was Pfizer.
Nice. Okay.
But yeah, and I got vaccinated because I didn't mind that it was rushed. I've gotten plenty of vaccines over the course of my life. It's just something that I always had, like, because I got most of my vaccinations as a kid. I don't think I got all of them because I wasn't in the school district. I was homeschooled. But I got all the basic ones that they give to children. And so getting the COVID vaccine, to me, I didn't really mind that it was rushed. I trusted it enough. And I don't really have any regrets. I didn't have any I know a lot of people had long-term complications from it. I haven't.
I know a buddy of mine who was vaccinated, and he has yet to regain his sense of taste.
Yeah, my sister had COVID and couldn't smell or taste for months. Fucking months.
Me and my whole family did get COVID.
Yeah.
But it was like, I want to say 2 weeks where we couldn't really taste anything, and then slowly but surely it started coming back. But ever since COVID hit, I don't think my taste or sense of smell has ever been the same.
No.
I think that's permanently been fucked.
Yeah, my sister's took really long. It took months for her to get her shit back.
Oranges smelled like trash for 3 days for me.
Yeah, that lasted for my sister for months.
I am so
sorry. She said everything smelled like ammonia.
Yeah, that's basically what it smelled like. Everything smelled like cat piss and trash.
But yeah, so like I got my vaccines. I don't look down on people who got their. I understand the people who didn't get their the vaccinations. Like I understand their point of view to a certain point. I'm not like, I don't agree with any of the QAnon people, obviously, but there were a lot of people who didn't get the vaccines who weren't into conspiracy theories, who just didn't trust how rushed it was. And I think that's completely fucking valid. Like that's valid. And people will say like, oh, but you know, it puts other people at risk.
You're only at risk if I have it. And I'm not gonna. And if I end up getting COVID or something like that, I'm gonna.
So that
isolate anyways.
That was the thing with, is that so much of COVID was asymptomatic that there were people spreading it who didn't even have symptoms. And that was the big issue for people who had like who have disabilities or they're immunocompromised. They're like, okay, but you could think that you're completely healthy and still be shedding the virus. And so those people are like, we are immunocompromised, not masking and not getting vaccinated and thinking that you're healthy when you're not, and spreading it puts people like that at risk. And that's also on their side. That's valid.
That's a valid statement.
It's valid. So like there's valid points on both sides. For me personally, I don't ever tell anyone what to fucking do with their body. So if people are like, I don't want to get vaccinated, you can sit there and explain to them like, well, I'm immunocompromised. This is why I'd rather you get vaccinated. But at the end of the day, you cannot tell another fucking person what to do with their body.
Yeah.
You can't tell people to get vaccines. You can't tell people to not get vaccines. You have to let people make those choices themselves, unfortunately, because that's autonomy and that's how that shit works.
And since we're on the topic of, going through, discourse, I guess is the word to use, like seeing people's stories and not necessarily agreeing with it, but coming to terms knowing that they have a different sense than you. I think that's a very beautiful thing to have and not something that we see very much in society anymore.
It's like understanding where the other person is coming from. You can still understand where a person is coming from even if you don't agree with it. Like that's a thing that you can do as a human being.
Like the biggest thing was the Christian versus the Satanist thing. I can understand that, you may not like God, you may not want to worship him, you may see him as I see Satan, and you have free will to do whatever you want with your life. I can understand where you're coming from, but I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
And I can still look at this person and say, I'm going to treat you with the same human decency and respect as I would anybody, but I respect your decision. I respect your opinions and everything like that. I just don't agree with them.
Yeah.
But I can still treat this person with the same decency and respect as if I wouldn't have known anyways.
Yeah. And like that kind of shit applies to situations like this. If we were talking about something more like
political
or like racism, I would say that, you kind of have to agree on matters of racism. But like on other things, like it's all a matter of being able to gauge, like I can sit in a room with an unvaccinated person and have a fucking conversation with them and like I'll be able to understand their point of view. If I'm going to sit in a room with a fucking Nazi who's all white power and shit, I'm going to treat you like you're an asshole because you're a fucking asshole. So then that's another take on it. Is like, I'm not going to fucking sit around and be like, oh, I understand how the Nazi feels. Like, no, the Nazi is just wrong. Like, there are people in this world that are also just fucking wrong. And you don't have to agree or understand those people. It's okay to not like those people because they don't like you. And they will never add any sort of fucking value to your life ever. But yeah, you have to be able to gauge these things. Like I've gotten to a point in my life where I'm like, I know what I can agree with and what I can't agree with, and I'm never gonna fucking agree with a Nazi. That's just never gonna fucking happen.
I think that's a fair trait to have. I think a lot of us can agree with you there. We don't want anything to do with Nazis.
No, fucking Elon doing his goddamn fucking Sig Heil at the fucking... Are you kidding me? Bro did that for the whole fucking world to see, and then they tried to say that it was autism. I'm like, no. Don't lump us motherfuckers into that motherfucker shit. We do not claim that. That's not autism. That's just being a fucking fascist dick. Like, no, you're not gonna fucking be like, oh, he's just autistic. No, he knew exactly what he did. He did it twice. He fucking did it twice. He did it in the front, and then he turned around and did it again in the back. And I'm just like, no, that wasn't a mistake, and that was not autism. That was intentional, and that is fascism for you, baby. And then, like, I saw this funny video. It was, like, this lady talking to people, and they were like, did you see that Elon did the fucking Sig Heil? And there was this one lady, and she was just like, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. And the guy behind her was like, he didn't do that. And she was like, oh, fuck.
Like, what he kind of did.
Yeah, I'm like, how are you guys going to explain that one, huh? With your Teslas, you're driving around in a fucking Nazis fucking shit.
I feel bad for all the Tesla truck owners now.
Dude, anytime I see a Tesla truck, I'm like, why?
You're driving a fucking you're driving a 3D trapezoid with wheels.
Like, it doesn't even look cool.
No, it looks like shit.
They think it looks cool or that they're cool because they have a Tesla, and I'm like, first of all, he's a Nazi. Second of all,
you'll get
that
stuck
shit
on a
looks
fucking
dumb as
hill.
Fuck. Get a regular ass truck. Be a normal fucking human being, for the love of God. Like, what are you doing with your
For one,
fucking
you
Tesla
can't
truck?
tow with that fucking truck worth the shit. There's hardly any good towing capacity for it. Number two, you can't off-road with that thing, even though that's what they claim and commercialize it as is this off-roading machine. This motherfucker gets stuck in ditches.
I've seen videos of that shit not being able to scale up a fucking hill, and it was
Literally. I've seen I know what video you're talking about. There was it was going up a dirt road or something like that, and you can just hear the like motors just start crying for help, and then all four wheels like lock up.
Yeah.
It was funny as hell.
I've seen quite a few of those Cybertrucks driving around Anchorage.
Yeah.
Anytime I
there's
see
one that's wrapped up here. There's one that's fucking wrapped.
What do you mean wrapped?
It's got like this decal thing on it, and it makes it look twice as bad than just the normal like stainless steel option that they have. It is ugly. I'm sorry. To anyone who owns Tesla trucks out there, I don't personally think you're a bad person, but your truck looks like ass.
I think you personally look like a bad person, you stupid fuck. Get out of that fucking truck.
That's her opinion, not me. Don't shoot me. It does,
get that
but
shit out of
I
this
will say
city.
it does look like ass though. Those trucks are not good looking.
They're just not even practical.
They're not.
Like, you obviously are missing some brain cells if you have one of those vehicles, because they're not fucking practical, especially not for Alaska. What the fuck? The thing
All
is,
it takes is one grain of salt to hit that battery at the right place at the right time, and that fucking whole truck goes up in smoke.
most of these people have these trucks just because of the clout of it being a fucking Tesla. Like, that's
not a flex. That's you being dumb with your money.
These people think it's a flex. They think they're flexing on us with their Tesla trucks, but I literally see one and I just start shaking my head.
No, I just start laughing.
I can't even laugh. I just shake my head.
I laugh every time I see one.
It's just like, I feel like a disappointed parent whenever I see one of them. I just start sighing and fucking nodding my head, being like, God damn it. Why would you do
Why would
this?
you waste $300,000 of your hard-earned money on a piece of shit truck that will potentially last you 3 to 5 years if you're lucky?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think most people do it for the clout of owning a Tesla.
I think you're right. Some
it's
people just
dumb.
buy it for the fucking clout, and in all honesty, they're dumb for that. Buy a Lambo if you want to flex on people. Don't buy a fucking Tesla.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, like, he's kind of like out here being like, haha, electric vehicles, but like there are so many other companies coming out with electric vehicles. Like, get one of those instead, motherfuckers. Stop buying the goddamn Teslas.
I still may be a little old-fashioned when I say this, but I still think gas-powered cars do less impact on the environment than those lithium batteries do on the environment.
They don't necessarily do less on the environment. Eventually, electric vehicles are not a bad idea.
Can we cut this out?
Why?
It's a pretty radical thing I just said there.
It's okay to say radical shit. I mean, why do you feel that way? I didn't even ask why you feel that way. Why do you feel like
I've just seen the lithium mines like over in the Middle East where we, extract all of our lithium and stuff like that to make batteries and stuff.
And that's
and
bad.
I see the yellow runoff of, like the lakes that they have over there to go from like brownish, bluish, typical watercolors to straight fucking like lemonade piss yellow.
Well, see, you're not wrong, and that is bad. Me personally, though, I just wouldn't say that that's worse than the same kind of damage.
I guess that's true.
But it is still, it's still not great. Like, it's bad.
Either way, either source of transportation is going to do some sort of damage to the environment.
And that's the thing, and that's why people are like it's a fine line. Like, we want to move over more to these renewable resources and like these electric vehicles. Like, I do think it's a good thing to try to make this technology more accessible to everyone and to move over to it, but you still have to have like everyone's still gonna have a fucking gas powered car for like the next fucking who knows how long. It's not like it's gonna be slow.
I know all the gas companies are definitely gonna want to keep pushing for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most people can't afford an electric vehicle anyways.
They are expensive.
So everyone's going to keep fucking driving their gas guzzling vehicles. Like, there's nothing we can fucking do about that. But I do like the idea of like eventually getting to a place where more people are able to afford electric vehicles, and then we're not having to fucking burn as much gas.
Or just try and make a engine that's a little bit more economical, I guess is the word to use.
Hybrid vehicles are pretty damn good.
Yeah. I owned a hybrid when I was going to school. Don't talk shit about me, anybody, but I had a 2016 Toyota Camry, and it had the EcoBoost. It was I think it was a 3.6 liter little 4-banger with the EcoBoost on it, and that little puppy was awesome.
Fuck yeah. My dad, and people will probably laugh at this too, but he had one of the newer Toyota Priuses. The blue ones with the racks on the top.
Oh.
I love that fucking vehicle.
As bad as it sounds, I would honestly buy one of those things if our economy gets it any worse than what it is right now. I will probably be driving a Prius just because of how fucking
the new ones look nice too.
Yeah, they do.
They look nice, they feel nice. I fucking love that car. And it gets the greatest fucking gas mileage. I love the Toyota Prius.
The only problem is the price tag.
Yeah, my mom paid for it.
the newer Priuses they look nice, but they're expensive.
Yeah, I think his is probably like a 2023 or a 2022.
Those
Toyota
are the ones that look like they were right out of like a drifting anime or something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a 23.
Those are so fucking sexy.
It's a
I'm
nice
sorry.
ass. I drove that car all the way to Seward. So smooth, so nice. We went camping, got great gas mileage. I love that car. I love it.
As much as people shit on Priuses, I mean, you can't find any other car on the market that gets 40 to 50 fucking miles per gallon like a fucking Toyota Prius will. So, if there's one company that's doing it right, it's fucking Toyota.
I love Toyota. I do love Jeep too. I'm a kind of like a Jeep whore. I love my Jeeps. Jeeps are great. They do be leaking oil. They do be leaking a lot of shit, actually. But like, I love my Jeep. The best
part about Jeeps is that even though it's leaking shit, it's still going to get you from point A to point B.
Bro, my Jeep has been through so much shit. It can't even hold on to coolant anymore. And
bless her heart.
And it's still getting me everywhere I need to go. I love you, Franken Jeep. If I could marry my car, I'd marry my fucking Franken Jeep, bro. That thing does so much for me, and I don't do anything with it at all other than give it more coolant and more oil every now and then. Actually, I'm putting coolant in it like every 2 days.
Is there a crack in the line, a crack in the reservoir?
I don't know. Those motherfuckers took a look at it, and those motherfuckers in an endearing way took a look at it, and they couldn't find it, so we think it's in the engine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and I know my trans cooler is crushed too. That thing's been crushed the entire time I've had it. Yeah. Yeah.
But she still runs.
My Franken Jeep, I'm telling you. Every now and then I gotta put more air in the right fucking driver's tire because it be slow leaking. but it gets me where I need to go. So literally every time I drive it, this is a little ritual I have, but I get in, and it's just whenever I remember to on my drive to work, I put my hand, like I like caress it, the steering wheel, and I'm like, thank you. Thank you for
so I'm not the only one that I'm not the only one that does that either.
You thank your car?
I thank my car.
I put my hand like I imbue my energy into it, and I let it know that I am thankful for it.
Yeah, I do that whenever I get home at the end of every day.
Nice.
I'm just like, thank you for getting me to and from work, because I'll like rub the dash or something like that.
Yep.
Thank you for getting me from to and from work. Thank you for not giving me troubles.
I'm telling you, your car appreciates it. Y'all need to start doing that to your vehicles.
They may not have a beating heart, feelings. But I'm telling you, they're alive.
The fucking energy coursing through all those wires, bro. They're colliding with your atoms, and you need to tell your car thank you for all that it does for you.
Yes. Today's message: go thank your cars. Go out to your cars, rub the steering wheel, give a little kiss on the dash, let them know that you love your car.
And your neighbors. Do the same for your neighbors.
Yes.
Go kiss your neighbors.
Okay. Consensually, yes, please.
Consensually go kiss your neighbors and tell them that you love them and thank them for all that they do for you. Oh, that's funny as fuck. How the fuck did we start talking about cars? How did we get to this?
You know, that's yeah. Welcome to ADHD, people.
I don't think I have ADHD. I'm just autistic as shit.
Well, I'm ADHD as shit, so I think to an extent there's a little connection that we have.
Yeah, your brain is like fast, and my brain is like not slow, but more. I don't know. This is just like ADHD is like fast autism. That's what ADHD is. Just fucking fast autism.
I've never in my life heard a comparison like that, and now I can't unhear it.
That's what it fucking is.
It's fast autism.
Y'all are just us, but fast. I think I saw like a thread somewhere. It was on Threads. I think I saw someone must have posted that because I read that shit and I was like, yeah, no, it's true. It's like they're just fast autism. That's what they are. That's what ADHD is. And I'm not like y'all. But like I understand y'all. I'm like, yeah, you're just like faster. You're faster with it. You're like, your brain goes a little bit faster with it.
My brain goes 1,000,000 miles a minute, and my fucking mouth and everything else is going 60.
You see, autistic people, what we want to do is we just want to gently float from one place to the other, from one thought process to the next.
That would be great, but my brain is like a lightning strike.
See, like, autistic want to be able, like, we can naturally just be able to, like, float from, like, one little thing to the next, but the way that, like, life forces us to adhere to certain things can make it really difficult, because then we just, like, have to, like, be an entirely different human being than what we actually naturally are, which is what masking is. It's, like, the thing that we do to get us through the motherfucking day. Because, like, me at home and me at work... That's not even acting. That's a whole other separate human being that I've created inside myself. The mask that I put over, because that's the only way I can fucking survive in the outside world. But when I'm at home, I'm going around just fucking like making weird clicks with my mouth and like pretending that I'm a raven and trying to like mimic the things that they do with their voice, or I'm like reading one book and then I'm reading another book and then I'm like doing arts and crafts and then I'm making a snack and like, you know, and then I'm randomly going like, you know, like just do like I can't help it, and then I'm like picking at my eyebrows, or I'm like just fucking, it's just all over the place. But we kind of like, you know, like I said, we float, whereas you ADHD motherfuckers are just like ping pong balls. You're just like ding 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 ding.
It's like it's like a racquetball that doesn't lose its bounce, and it's just constantly going back and forth. Like, the best way I can describe it is this is a day in the life of me when I was living in my dorm room. I woke up, I go to school, I come home, and I will work on a beat for 15 minutes. Then I will start a load of laundry. Then I will start cleaning. Then I will go back to the beat and do more shit on the beat. Then I will do the laundry shit. Then I will get on my computer, and then I will play some games or do some homework. And I'm just constantly back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's like my brain doesn't know how to fucking do one thing
at a time
and then go to the next thing. It's like my brain has to have like 5 things going on in order for me to feel air quote normal.
So see, and that's a good another thing for like for me, and like I said, it's literally just slower. So like I want to plan out my day. I want to be like, okay, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this. Like, so I'm going to start off my day, and I'm going to like feed my animals, and I'm going to fucking do my exercise routine, and then I'm going to like go do my errands, and I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to do my laundry. And then once I get all my shit done, then that's free time, and I'm like, what am I going to do? And then I decide, do I want to fucking watch a movie? Do I want to play on my Switch? Like, but like my shit's like one thing to the next. Like I still mostly, the only thing I would say that I'm ADHD about is books. I have started, there's like probably 50 books that I have started reading and have not finished reading currently. So I have like, but it's funny because like I do finish books. I have a lot of finished books, but I also have a lot of unfinished books, and I've read probably 3 chapters in every single one of them.
That's like me with animes right now.
Really?
I have like 5 different shows that I'm watching, and I'm keeping up with all 5 of them.
Nice.
One of them is 1,100 episodes. If that's not already the giveaway to what I'm watching, then
is it Naruto?
That is one of them. Can you 1,100 episodes?
I don't fucking know jack shit about anime, dude.
One Piece.
Oh, does One Piece really have that many?
Dude, they're making more.
Oh, Jesus. I did not know that.
Yeah, they've made over like 1,100 fucking episodes of One Piece.
Jesus. Goddamn. Oh, another thing I should have, I don't know why I didn't make this as a guess, but Dragon Ball Z. Don't they have a shit ton of episodes?
Fuck yeah, I've watched all of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Shout out Dragon Ball. Like
I don't watch anime. I just know. Sorry, I cut you off, but I don't really watch anime. I just know shit because the people that I love watch anime.
Fuck yeah, anime's is shit.
Yeah, I watched the first season of Tokyo Ghoul.
Ooh,
that's what I did. I liked.
That's a good one.
The first season of Tokyo Ghoul was fucking awesome as shit.
Fuck yeah.
I watched that. That's the only anime I've ever watched.
I've watched the OG Dragon Ball from start to finish. I watched Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z Kai, GT, Dragon Ball Super. I'm getting into the newest one. I'm just now finishing Super. I don't know. I forgot what the fucking new Dragon Ball is called, but I know they're making another one. But I just also finished season 2 of JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm starting Solo Leveling. I'm like halfway through season 2 of Fire Force. So yeah, I've got quite the list of animes that I'm watching right now. Then like I said, Naruto, and then One Piece as well.
I'm not gonna lie, I zoned out a little bit. I just realized I didn't put my pop filter on this microphone. I haven't had my pop filter on this microphone the whole time.
Oh my gosh!
I don't even know where the pop filter is. Never mind. We're gonna put that on really quick. I can't believe I didn't have that on the entire fucking time. My thing is usually like making sure that like my voice, because I kind of sound like a bitch, and I also have resting bitch face. So for when I talk to people, I'm mostly thinking like, okay, how is my tone? Like, do I have a welcoming tone? And am I like making like friendly eye contact, like making happy eyes with them, so that they know that like like, oh no, this bitch has piercings and tattoos, and I'm like, I'm actually friendly. Are you gonna be okay? Like, welcome. How's it going today? You know, you gotta like let them know that you're a friendly, nice person. Otherwise, they're gonna look at you.
I know it looks like I bite, but I don't. I promise.
Well, I do, but I won't bite you. It's the truth. I do, but I won't.
You do, but you won't.
I won't. Not at work, at least. I don't want to get fired.
That makes 2 of us.
Yeah, so I'm nice at work. If you like are a dick to me in like a bar or something, that's a totally different story.
There's a difference between Scary Jerry at work and Scary Jerry off of work.
Yeah, Scary Jerry off of work will fuck a motherfucker.
We'll rip someone's face off.
And I have a dog who will also rip someone's face off. Yeah, today I was trying to hug him and he fucking jerked his head up and I bashed my fucking lip on his fucking head in between my tooth, and then started bleeding, and then I had a little gash in my lip. And at first I was just like, what the fuck, am I bleeding? And then I was like, holy shit, he got me good. And then I was just like, you motherfucker. And then I iced it a little bit, and it's annoying. It's just annoying. Like, pain doesn't really bug me other than the fact that it's fucking annoying, because I'm like trying to talk, but I've got to be like conscious because I don't want to rip it open again.
I was gonna say, like, the thing about like getting rips in your lips like that sounds really bad if you take that out of context, but
Are you 9?
I am. But whenever I crack like my lips, whenever it's like really dry outside, like I have a feeling I'm gonna have to get the Vaseline and stuff like that out for my lips coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, but see, like the gash is like on
the inside.
Yeah.
But
the gash is on the inside of my fucking lip, because what happened is, like, I'm coming down to hug him, and then he like freaked out to come up, because he does that. And I know he does that. So really this is all my fault. But then like his head goes up, and then my fucking top teeth get gouged into my bottom lip. And so there's a little gash in it. And it was bleeding, and I was like, what the fuck?
No,
I went over to the mirror, and I was like, oh yeah, there's a little gash in my lip.
Yeah. What I was getting at was, like, I hate when you have like that split in your lip, and you can feel like the is it skin? Is the right terminology skin?
Yeah.
Like, you can feel the skin tighten against it, and you can honestly feel like it.
Or when it
starts ripping.
When you feel it rip, I fucking hate that.
I don't know if it's just me, but can you also get like an audio sensation when it starts ripping? Like, I can honestly hear.
I don't think I can hear it. But
I can hear mine rip.
You're weird.
I am weird.
That's fucking weird. No, I don't.
Y'all are learning way too much about me this fucking podcast. So another thing, I know I'm going completely off topic here, but
please do.
You know, like that cringe feeling you get, like if you hear a certain sound. What is that sound for you that triggers that like cringe wincing like sensation? Because I'll tell you mine.
Ooh, I don't know if I have one for
fucking saran wrap. You know that
really?
Yeah, you know that wrap that goes like on pallets and shit like that?
Yeah.
That shit fucks with me.
The sound?
Yes.
Man.
Like, it sends like not like the good chills down your spine, like the ones that feel like nails and stuff like that are being jabbed into my fucking spine. Anytime like you rub your hand across it, or even just the sensation of feeling it also gives me that like cringe feeling.
I understand feeling it probably. Like, it doesn't bug me, but I can understand how the feeling of it would bug someone.
That sound fucks with me. I was delivering this product, and it had saran wrap all over it. I got it out of the truck, and it does like that high pitched sound, and I was just like, ooh.
Yeah, I can understand how that sound would fuck with people. It doesn't. One I don't mind.
That doesn't bother you?
Not really. You want to know something I can do that a lot of people are like, ew, I can't believe you do that. I can like bite popsicles and ice cream. I can like bite it with my teeth.
See, I am one of those people that can't.
Yeah, I can
It's
do
a
that.
Sensory issue with my teeth.
I can bite into ice cream with my teeth.
I don't.
Yeah, I can do that. It doesn't bug me at all. I'm pretty proud of it. People are like, oh my God, how did you do that? And I'm like, what? What is this like? Ooh, am I different? I was like,
I'm different.
I'm different. Cool. I love that. We're actually going to be signing out with a preview of your song, Relapse.
Relapse.
Yeah, and I'm really excited that I get to have this moment in history of being the podcast that previews your first song.
My fucking debut single.
So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to say thank you to all the listeners for listening to Scary Thoughts with Scary Jerry again. You guys keep listening. That's fucking awesome. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in every episode. Thank you for giving us insights. I've been receiving comments from listeners talking about how much they enjoy it and things like that. And I share everything that y'all send my way. I send it to Jerry, and we're just ecstatic that y'all care and y'all enjoy what we're putting out for you guys to listen to. So from the bottom of our hearts, I think I can speak for both of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. All right. Let's do it.
You're listening to Relapse by Tama.
It was no hallucination. Hallucination. But inside that room, that well-ordered definition just won't do.
Running from my problems and I'm close to fucking relapse. Losing track of time, don't know how much time has elapsed. Try to lock it down with the walls of all these cracks and recaps. Trying to fucking cope, you'll find me smoking on some tree sap. I don't care when nobody thinks I do shit on my own. Too much shit in my system, head is spinning like a cyclone. Heart's pounding out my chest, nobody picks up the phone. Y'all wake up, find me 6 feet deep with a fucking gravestone. Putting on a mask, try and hide all of my shame. Looking in the mirror, don't know what the fuck I have became. Made attempts to make it better, but it always is the same.